Three, two, one. What's going on, everyone? Watching Ash on Comics. My name is Ash. It's episode 92 of Storytime Live. Man, I feel like I hit a milestone. I feel like I did something Marvel Comics can't do. How you guys doing tonight? Hope everyone's doing groovy. As you can tell, I'm a little distracted. Got things going on in the background. I got some puppies over at the house tonight. So we're doing some dog sitting here at the house, and so if you hear any whining and stuff in the background, they're lying down sleeping as of right now, but they're not predictable to me. So just an FYI, that's what's going on. I'm feeling all right tonight. I have detached myself from the news for the past couple days. I don't think I've watched any news segments. I've stayed mostly off of Twitter. I am feeling less depressed, if you will. And I don't know how to feel about that. I really don't. I know a lot of people say this, like, oh, Ash, you got to get off Twitter. Got to, stop paying too much attention. It's going to get you down. And I'm like, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But I feel like it's, the ostrich putting their head in the sand. The whole concept, ignorance is bliss. I feel like there's a lot of truth, like, just stop paying. Well, it's like, great. I guess I can do that. I won't feel all upset, but that doesn't change facts. All I'm really doing is putting my head in the sand, right? Do I feel better? Yeah, I'm doing things I like. I'm paying attention to more positive things. But the problems that are upsetting me didn't go away. I just lost sight of them, and now I'm distracted on other things. And maybe that's good. Maybe that's healthy for me. Maybe we all need to do that. Maybe we need some balance in our lives. I don't know. But I don't feel comfortable being completely detached. I don't feel comfortable not knowing what the hell's going on out there. Honestly, I don't. I've seen a couple headlines because, I'm on YouTube or whatever, and people are making videos, and YouTube's throwing videos at me that they think I want to watch. And so people I subscribe to, Tim Pool is someone I watch a lot of videos of. I think he's an excellent source of news dissemination. I also have a very good feeling about his character. I really do feel Tim has a lot of integrity. He may not always get things right, and he certainly doesn't always agree with my politics, but I believe he's not in it for the money. I believe he really is one of those ideological kids who just really cares about the truth being out there. So I believe that's the kind of person we need to get our news from. And you should always have multiple sources. You should never just trust one person implicitly. But anyways, he's the source that I get from. Of the only official news things I listen to occasionally is the Epic Times. If you guys ever heard of the Epic Times, I really like those guys. They're more kind of like world news though. A lot of Chinese information. It's founded by Chinese guys. So you get a lot of news about China. Not China for China's sake news. China news as appropriate to Americans. What else do I listen to? Sometimes I'll listen to Steven Crowder if I want humorous news. He's kind of like the conservative Daily Show, I guess, is what Steven Crowder reminds me of. I don't know if he's really a news outlet, but he's sometimes funny. Sometimes if I'm looking just for opinion and culture stuff, I don't know if you guys ever heard of Fleckus Talks. I think I mentioned them on my show before. That's Fleccas, Fleckus Talks. He does a lot of man on the street. He just goes out and talks to people. I follow people a lot on Twitter. That's where I get a lot of stuff. So I'm not going to go all their names right now. This is a big political thing. just kind of let you guys know where my mind's been at. And I just I like being able to follow and be somewhat informed as much as I can. Melissa is first tonight. I put the post up real late, like 5 minutes before showtime. Melissa jumped right on it. She was first. Eric Breen is DOS. Or is that DOS? Are you DOS? Eric Breen is old enough to be DOS. That's a computer joke. While the rest of us are Windows. Too bad Computer Robots isn't here right now. He'd get it. Rania says she's tres leches. Yeah, very Hispanic of you, Rania. I had Mexican food tonight. Some of my favorite Mexican food. There is a taco shop in San Diego called Cotijas. Cotijas. Looks like Cotijas. That's how Venkman would pronounce it. Cotijas. Venkman's got the COVID right now, so everyone should say a prayer for him and hope he feels better. But La Cotijas, they're one of my favorites, and I had a Diablo shrimp burrito. Oh, so delicious. It's shrimp, of course, in a big tortilla. And they do this like spicy ranchera sauce, I think is what it is. And then it's got rice and sour cream. I think those are the only ingredients. And they just pack it full. It's this big ass burrito. It's good. Yeah, and now I'm drinking a Sapporo Japanese beer. It's good. That's good too. I hope you guys have a nice, refreshing drink. As always, you should wind down your evening listening to Ash on Comics read you a bedtime story. Have a nice, delicious beverage. Relax. It doesn't have to be alcoholic. And if it is, don't abuse the alcohol, right? Some of us, well, I don't know about some of us, but you know, it's a privilege we get to. I'm not going to lecture you guys. You know what to do. You're all adults. So let's see. Dragon Majesty's here. He says Melissa regains the throne, and Dragon Ball is at a job. He's about to leave. So I don't know what he's saying. To heal him with his trademark G2C you all. Good to see you, to heal him over there on the other side of the world, down under. Let's see. Ronnie says, plenty of room to chair dance here, and also my new chair has wheels now. Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, you gotta have wheels. Let's see. Zach Richmond is here. One of the many Zachs. Not Rogers, not Zach Richards, Zach Richmond. He says, puppies! Oh, man. Yeah, they're adorable. The one thing that sucks about dog watching, it's like you fall in love with the animal. Like, I want to keep them. They're adorable. Let's see. A news detox sounds great. I need to be on Twitter less. It adds heaps to my anxiety. Yeah, it doesn't add to my anxiety. It adds to my depression, which I don't know which is worse. Let's see. Dragon says, read less Twitter and more comics. Definitely. I mean, that'll definitely make you feel better. There's no arguing this. I don't really read news to feel good. I read it because I feel this sort of sense of obligation to exist on this planet, that I should have some level of being informed and just knowing what's going on instead of being a complete, you know, just like, oh, I don't know. And also, since we live in a country that's supposed to be governed by the people, right? You know, that's the whole concept of the United States of America, is that it's a government for the people, by the people. I feel like it's something we should all just be informed and watch what's going on. I think part of the problems that we have today and where we are is because so many of us checked out. So many of us are like, I don't want to involve myself in politics. I don't want to have to. I just want to go play Spider-Man on PS5, right? And hey, I relate. I'm not condemning anyone. But, you know, when we don't involve ourselves, this is where we get. we let other people run our lives for us. They're not doing it for us. They're doing it for them. Let's see. Joe Biden will never be my president. He stole the election from Trump. Joe Biden is a puppet, in my opinion. I don't think Joe Biden stole anything. I think the establishment, the New World Order that started with the Papa Bush, we're seeing the effects. I mean, George W. Bush, his son, predicted this. Not predicted it. I mean, he warned. He was telling us. I mean, he was the New World Order. The New World Order. That's what we're pushing for. And it's funny because when Bush was pushing for this, we had all these Democrats who were like, F that, blah, blah, you know. And when I say the Democrats, I mean like the liberals, like all the musicians, like the celebrities, the people now who are the big anti-Trumpers. They were the big anti-Bushers once upon a time. And it was like, fuck the New World Order. I mean, a lot of the bands I listened to, in fact, there was a band I used to listen to called Ministry. Props to anyone in the audience who knows who Ministry is. But they're a hardcore industrial band. And the dude, Al Jorgensen, the lead singer of that band, he got basically Bush derangement syndrome. He got so like anti-Bush that all of his albums were just massive political, just anti-Bush. And I was like, wow. I just couldn't. I had to stop listening to the band. I was like, dude. Of course, years and years later, I'm like, yeah, he probably was right. Bush was terrible. What's funny is Bush was part of that New World Order. Trump's, as far as I can tell, against the New World Order. But the people who were against Bush are now on the side of Bush because they're on the side of Biden. And guess who's also on the side of Biden? Bush. It's weird how that gets flip-flopped. Let's see. Kay is in the house. He says, for me, you people replacing one clown for another. I don't think Trump's a clown. Honestly, don't. I think he's uncouth. I think he's got character flaws like the rest of us do. I think if any of us had the spotlight put on them with the media the way Trump has, we'd have a lot of skeletons in our closet that could be magnified and amplified to look really terrible. Plus, you got to consider there's just so many lies that have been spread about so many of the things that the public hates about Trump aren't even real. This is not. They're just complete fabrications. Do you remember when he first took office and they were saying like how he went to Russia and he hired all those hookers and he was having golden showers and all this stuff? Of course, that was completely ludicrous, and the Democrats dropped that story pretty quickly, and now it's gone down the memory hole. But I didn't forget. That was stupid. You know, it just didn't happen. The Russian collusion thing has been debunked. The stupid bounties. Oh, Putin's putting bounties on American soldiers and Trump doesn't care. Like, this is made up. You just fabricated it out of nowhere. So naturally people, they hate Trump because they go, look what Trump is like. Yeah, but you hate him for a fictional reason. It's, you know, if people made up fictional reasons about you and then they put it all over, you know, a dozen different world, you know, big mega corporate news stations and pumped it out to the world and on internet and social media, you'd look like a big asshole as well. Like any of us would. Anyways, I'm really not trying to go into politics. Melissa says, Dan Slott ruined Franklin Richards, my favorite character, along with his dad. Let's ease back a little bit, Melissa. Let's ease back. Now, Dan Slott did something stupid, and he's getting a lot of flack for it, which I feel like is justly deserved. I feel like the flack probably should go more towards Marvel itself. I feel like we throw too much at the writers. But here's the thing. Writers are just trying to make stuff. They're trying to entertain you. It's a hard job, believe it or not. Like, coming up month after month with a creative story that's worth your money, that you're going to go spend money on, and you're going to read it and you're going to walk away and go, dang, that was awesome. That's hard to do. There's a reason why very few people can do it. And some would argue that most of the ones that do it can't do it very well at all. And I don't like Dan Slott. I don't buy any of his stuff. I think he's a garbage writer. But he is at least hired to do that. I do believe he does on some level try to write these stories. Where I go is the publisher needs to, when Dan Slott turned in his little script and did this, Franklin Richards isn't really a mutant bullshit. The editor so think about this. There's multiple editors. You have an assistant editor that is on the Fantastic Four. You have the editor of that book itself, the actual main editor. Then you have the group editor for whatever group Marvel has assigned Fantastic Four to. And then you also have people like the editor-in-chief. I'm not even going to count whatever Tom Brevoort is. So let's say 4 editors are involved in this. Not a single one of them said, whoa, pump the brakes, Slott. You aren't changing Franklin Richards into a like, that's the point. Like, it's the writer's job is to be like, ooh, I got a good idea. Not every good idea that they think is good is actually good. That's the part of creation. Sometimes when you're going to be creative, you have to go really outside the box. You have to throw out stupid ideas. If you don't ever throw stupid ideas out, chances are you won't even get ideas out, period. If you've ever been involved in writing, especially if you write with someone, because this is where it becomes more evidence, you have like brainstorming sessions. And when you brainstorm, the best way to brainstorm is to just throw out the stupid ideas. If you're really conservative and you're like, oh, that's a stupid idea, I don't want to suggest it, you start finding yourself like not giving anything. You just find yourself going, I don't know, I'm trying to think of an idea. But you start just throwing out like, boom, what if we did this? What if we did this? What if we did this? And just knowing, hey, these are going to be stupid, therefore we're not going to publish them. It's fine. But sometimes within a stupid idea is a kernel of something else that can be turned into a good idea. And that's why brainstorming is possible. So maybe Dan Slott's turning Franklin Richards into a non-mutant isn't a good idea on the surface, but maybe there's something that could be done with it. I don't know. I have thought of some ideas. That if I were all of a sudden to slip into this, I would be writing a subplot behind the scenes that Franklin Richards actually is a mutant still, and this is Professor X fucking with his mind. And for some reason, Professor X doesn't want Franklin Richards to be involved in his plan because, let's face it, Franklin Richards is one of the most powerful Marvel characters ever to exist. I mean, he can literally make his own multiverses. Like, he's ridiculously powerful. If you've been reading the whole X story, Franklin Richards being a part of this doesn't really make a lot of sense if Professor X has these nefarious motives. So what if Professor X went into Franklin Richards' head and turned off any connection to his mutant, and then put in his mind, you're not a mutant? And because all we have right now is Professor X's word on this. We don't have what the truth really is. We just have Professor X telling Franklin, you're not a mutant. That doesn't mean it's true. That just means we have a character telling another character something. And there's a possibility, and this is what I'm talking about, where you can have a kernel of a good idea. There's a possibility you could do something with this and go, no, you know what? We never actually changed anything. All we did was change perceptions. And then Professor X is trying to keep Franklin Richards out of the picture, doesn't want him to be involved, throws in his little, uses, because he's the most powerful telepath on the planet. And maybe he turns off Franklin Richards' powers and says, you're a human. Ta-da! And as far as the mutants are concerned, they're like, whew, problem solved. Moving on. And then now you can have this whole big subplot story going on with the Fantastic Four where, maybe Reed Richards with his super intelligence is like, something's not right about this. And, and Franklin's like, I'm not a mutant, I can't. And Reed Richards has to discover over time, not in like one issue, like, oh, wait a second, this is a big plot. Like, no, my son actually is a mutant. What's going on? And, and we know this would be in character because Xavier already did this to Reed, where he shut off Reed's ability to create the mutant nullifier. Remember? Because Reed Richards made the mutant nullifier, and we got visited by Magneto and Professor X, and he just went into his brain and tweaked it so that he can never finalize the thoughts that are needed to create that thing. It's always like a cloud. It was pretty cool, actually, the concept of how that was done. It also solves from a writing standpoint. How do you have if Reed Richards can invent the technology that can take away mutant powers, that's a big deal. Like, you just solved that from a plot standpoint. Now he can't. Why wouldn't Professor X do something similar to Franklin Richards? Because Franklin Richards is a mutant nullifier all in himself. Franklin Richards could literally, with a thought, say mutants don't exist anymore. I mean, what Wanda did, she ain't got nothing on Franklin Richards. So before we start jumping down Dan Slott's throat, and look, the way he did stuff felt really dumb and bad. And like I said, Marvel just seems to be asleep at the wheel. So I get fan outrage, but it's not completely out the window. That's what I'm saying. There's ways that these things that are happening could be spun in a really cool way if Marvel hires me, which they won't. I'm full of myself. Let's see. Zach says, I had Mexican food tonight too. Chicken fajitas. Oh, I love chicken fajitas. Melissa says, try the cheese dip at Mexican food restaurants. It's heavenly. Like all the cheese dip at all the Mexican food. Melissa, they're not all the same. I'll tell you what's heavenly though. You're talking about cheese dip. I don't know where you guys live, but wherever you live, if you have a quick service restaurant called Qdoba, it's Qdoba, Qdoba. It's kind of like a Chipotle competitor. So if you know what Chipotle is, Qdoba is very, very similar. But one thing that Qdoba has is their queso. It's a Monterey Jack based queso dip. Oh my God. It's I could just drink it. Like, you just give me a cup of it and I'm like, I love their queso. Let's see. Marani had broiled steak and Knorr's Alfredo noodles for dinner. Now it's chocolate coffee. It's called a mocha, Marania. I don't know what they call them, chocolate coffees up there on the East Coast. I'm not making fun of you. It's funny, but I don't know. I kind of like chocolate coffee, actually. Franklin Richards being a mutant didn't matter until recently, since there was no story involving him being a mutant until Hickman's X-Men. That is incorrect, Kay. That is incorrect. It's good beer. Franklin Richards plays a huge part in a little story in the X-Men called Days of Future Past. I know most people haven't heard of this Days of Future Past thing. And by that, I mean it's like one of the biggest X-Men stories ever of all time. And Franklin Richards is crucial to this whole thing. So to say that he's being a mutant has no effect, that's not really true. Like, he's Rachel Summers, who, not Rachel fucking Gray, stupid Marvel. Rachel Summers, that's Rachel Summers' boy. Like, they're together in the future. Rachel Summers and Franklin Richards. Of course, that's probably never going to happen because Marvel is trash. They hate continuity. So, but anyways, yeah. So she leaves him, but she has to leave because she needs to go to the past to help the current mutants save themselves. So she leaves her man in the future. It's a good story. I really like what Chris Claremont did with Franklin Richards and Rachel Summers. And as soon as he's out of the picture, Marvel flushes it all down the toilet. Let's see, Ronnie says, yes, I moved since last story time. The Geektress trademark, look at that. Geek Forge is nearly complete organization-wise. Nice. Jimmy's in the house. He says, hey, guys. Kay says, weird. I thought it was governed by the states, not the people. Nope. It's governed by the people. We're a republic. Democratic Republic of the People. I believe we're the only democratic republic in the world that calls themselves a democratic republic and actually is one. Unlike the Democratic People's Republic of China or the Democratic People's Republic of North Korea. But we are slowly turning into both of those places anyway, so whatever. Sorry, I keep going down the politics road. Zach Richards says, too many people focus on Trump's words or behavior and not his policies and actions. Oh, here we go. I'm trying to avoid the politics. You're correct, Zach, but it's because we have a massively corrupt, evil corporate media machine that consistently 24/7 character assassinates him. So a lot of the people are focusing on that. That's because they're being programmed to. We're living in a country that's under constant brainwashing, and it's the most effective brainwashing that's ever existed in humankind. TV was semi-effective, but now that the left has complete control of public education, complete control of higher education, complete control of all news, well, not all news media, but all mainstream news media, complete control of all entertainment, mainstream entertainment media. All the celebrities are all part of it. All social media, except for the quack offsprings like Parler or something that, that no one really uses because they're not the main thing. There's no escape. It's all encompassing all the time. You're being bombarded with indoctrination 24/7. And you really, more than ever, have to be a free thinker to avoid it. So for those of you who have avoided it, feel good about yourself, because I believe it takes so much more self-awareness, so much more free thinking ability to not get trapped in these echo chambers and, propaganda machines. That says a lot about you and your ability to think critically and analytically, and just not be swayed easily by emotion. In the past, I don't think we needed as much effort. We didn't have the level of saturation with the brainwashing. Now it's everywhere we turn around. It's all over us. Let's see. Melissa says, new Animaniacs and Tiny Toons is woke garbage and suck without Slappy Squirrel and Elmira stuff. I was never really a big Animaniacs fan to begin with. It kind of was after my time. I saw it when it came out. I was like, this is all right. But so the new Animaniacs don't really do anything for me. And I did see one of the promo pictures for the Animaniacs where it had the little girl Animaniac. What's her name? Is her name Dot or something like that? And she was standing in the middle of the two boys, and she was like pushing her hands to the side and like pushing them aside. And she's saying like, no mansplaining. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. And I was immediately tuned out. I was like, whatever. No mansplaining. There's a precedent of Professor X mind wiping Reed regarding ways to take the mutants out, if I recall right from FF versus X-Men. Yes, Maranya. I'm not sure when you typed that, but that was what I was talking about when I was talking about it. Jimmy says, screw new comics, read back issues. I was reading Alan Moore's Swamp Thing today, and it pisses me off that it's 1,000 times better than anything out today or in the last 8 years. Did Breen hijack Jimmy's account? I feel like Eric Breen is typing on Jimmy's account. Oh, Jimmy, how far he's come. He sounds like me. I feel proud. Like I feel like a proud papa. Watching my baby take his first steps. A little tear coming down my eye. I'm so proud of you, Jimmy. Let's see. People upset about Hickman. Dragon says, I read the recent X-Men F4 mini, and it was average at best. You're not wrong, Dragon. I did a review on all 4 issues, and it was pretty good. Like, it was fine. The problem with it is it had Dawn of X dragging it down. Like, but also, it also had the bar of Dawn of X to make it look exceptional. I think so many people were so ecstatic with it because when you compare and contrast, and you put, put the two side to side, 4X, that's the name of the series. 4X looks 1,000 times better, to quote Jimmy. Like, it just feels like you're like, this is so much better than what we're getting with the Hickman X-Men, And so you're like, this is amazing. But then you like go back and read like Chris Claremont X-Men, and you're like, yeah, it's not actually that good. But let's see. Jimmy says Qdoba is better than Chipotle. Just when I was praising Jimmy for a moment, he had to go and ruin it all. No, Qdoba is not better than Chipotle, except their queso. The queso is better. But about everything else, no. Chipotle has way better salsa, and their meat is way better. I like Qdoba. I am not an anti-Qdoba guy. When I lived in Colorado and I had Qdoba, I ate Qdoba a lot. Like I said, that queso was a seller. I was like, because you can get it on anything, right? I like to just get you can order just a chips and queso. It's like $3.99, so you get an 8-ounce cup of the queso and a bag of chips, and that was just. Sometimes I wasn't super hungry, but on the way home from work, I would just grab one of those. Fantastic. But you can get it in your burrito, like whatever burrito, fucking smother some queso in there. Oh, damn. But the meat at Chipotle, oh man, their barbacoa. I say to this day, and I mean, growing up in Southern California, in San Diego, where I still been all over this country, there's no better Mexican food outside of Mexico in the United States than San Diego. And Chipotle, at least in Colorado, where Chipotle is from, because I have the Chipotle out here is not the same in San Diego. It's good, but it's that barbacoa is still the best shred of beef I've ever had in my life. They got really good carnitas. Oh, and their grilled chicken is phenomenal. Oh man, like the ingredients at Chipotle. Qdoba has more options. I think that win you over. Like, one thing I love about Qdoba is you can get their freaking Mexican gumbo. Oh, damn. Jimmy, have you had the Mexican gumbo? Oh, man. What's a Mexican gumbo? If you don't know what Mexican gumbo is, basically what they do is they take a bowl. If you've been to Chipotle or they take a bowl, and so it's like a burrito, but you don't get it made a burrito, so you don't have any tortilla. And you put rice in it. And one of the things Qdoba has that's also awesome besides their queso is their chicken tortilla soup. They put the rice in the bowl, and then they put a couple ladles of chicken tortilla soup, and then you load it up just like you would a burrito if you've ever gone to Chipotle or Qdoba. It's pretty much the same process. You go through and you pick your protein, what kind of beans you want. Do you want any, you can get cheese, you can get, I like to get the fajita peppers, which is just basically peppers and onions, multiple kinds of salsa, and it's in a bowl, and you just take it home and you eat it with a spoon, and it's thick because you put a lot of things in it, so it's not soupy, but it's still soupy enough to where you eat it with a spoon. And man, when I was in Colorado on a cold winter day, getting one of those, fucking Mexican gumbo. Let's see. Where did I lose everyone? Let's see. CNN told me not to listen to you, says Eric. Best endorsement ever. Let's see. Jimmy says, we aren't a democratic republic, Ash. We're a constitutional republic. No, we're both. They're not mutually exclusive things, Jimmy. Yes, we are a constitutional republic because we have a constitution, and we are a democratic republic because we have a republic with democratically elected officials. We're also a representative republic. That's also true. We're different kinds of republic, but the idea of democratic republic is meaning that, anyways, I'm not going to go into it. Breen says, I came up with a name for my sanctuary. Oh, wait, sorry. That was Marania saying to Breen. The Geektress. I think that needs a little work. Alan Moore is overrated. He's no Jason Aaron, says Eric Breen. You guys are awesome. I should just do a big stream. Get everyone on a big panel just talking. You guys make me laugh. Let's see. Eric says, I'm just goofing off between comic filings, Jimmy. That Eric, he's always filing comics. Ronnie says, personally, I don't mind reboots as long as they respect the original. If they mess with my Wako, though, that's one of the Animaniacs, all bets are off. See, my thoughts are, if you're going to reboot something, I mean, do whatever you want. That's the whole point of a reboot, right? You know, like Christopher Nolan's Batman was a reboot of the Batman franchise. And I am so glad they didn't stick with the Tim Burton version. Like, do it different. The Daniel Craig James Bond, that was a reboot. And I'm so glad they didn't do it with the Timothy Dalton, or not the Tim, what's his name? Remington Steele. His name flipped out of my head. You guys know what I'm talking about. I'm so glad they didn't. Pierce Brosnan. I'm so glad they didn't do that version. Like, and Pierce Brosnan wasn't the problem. It was just the way MGM was doing James Bond movies with Pierce Brosnan. It wasn't really James Bond. The Daniel Craig's, well, they have their problems too, but holy shit, Casino Royale is the best James Bond movie ever. And if you disagree, well, you know, we're all wrong from time to time. Let's see. I thought Governor Andy had shut down Chipotle's, but he didn't. So all is right in the world, says Eric. It's funny is I don't really eat Chipotle nearly that much anymore because I'm back in San Diego where we have so many great taco shops. But I was in Colorado, man. Chipotle and Qdoba, that was my jam. But they're not really like authentic Mexican food. That's a weird thing. Like, my buddies out here, when Chipotle came out here, I was like, dude, you gotta try Chipotle. And they're like, whatever. Like, they're just like, it sucks. And it's because they're thinking of it like a Mexican place. And I was like, yeah, it's not. It's like a Mexican fusion. It's like, it's been super Americanized. Like, they don't scratch the same itch. Melissa says, Animaniacs did not need a reboot. No one asked for it. It's also a soulless remake that removes all the fan favorites. And Tiny Toons reboot will be even worse, so Rugrats 2021 TV show will be garbage. I haven't really seen it to see how soulless it is. I'm sure it's woke. As far as needing a reboot, well, I mean, you have a new generation of kids, so I mean, reboots are things that happen. I mean, I don't know. I'm not really heavily invested in Animaniacs, so GoldenEye is the best 007 movie. Dude, GoldenEye almost turned me off of James Bond forever. It's not a James Bond movie. It's a Die Hard movie. I don't think you've ever seen James Bond use an assault rifle until GoldenEye. He became like Commando. He's like fighting tanks. Now, as years have gone by, and I got many, 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 many dozens, if not hundreds of hours playing the N64 GoldenEye game, which was amazing, I have learned to have an appreciation for that movie, but it is not a James Bond movie. Let's see. Eric says, yeah, well, we all can't be in San Diego, so we take what we can get. No, I like Chipotle. I love Chipotle. I love it. But I got to appreciate it when I was away from San Diego, and I was like, oh, I don't have good Mexican food. And then I fell in love with Chipotle. I tried to bring it back here, and people are just like, you call that Mexican food? And I'm like, no, I call it Chipotle. It's different. It's awesome. Like, but San Diego's full of Mexican food snobs, which I used to be one, so I kind of understand. Now, speaking of snobbery, and yes, you can eat it. You can eat a Chipotle burrito with pinky extended, Eric, before you ask. Let's see what's going on in the world of comics. I like to look at Comixology sales from time to time because I like finding good deals on comics. Comics are way too expensive. And when I get good deals on comics, that lets me buy more beer. Beer is good. DC Road to Black Friday is still going on. Looks like you can get lots of different comics here. Lots of good stuff. I went through both of these lists. Lots of good stuff in there. Spectacular Spider-Man sale. Probably not quite as good, but it is the Zdarsky Spider-Man, for those of you looking for that. Look at that. Oh, maybe you could read this. Chip Zdarsky Spider-Man. Everyone tells me Chip Zdarsky Spider-Man was so good, and I'm like, really? Really? Is it really? Oh, it's got Adam Kubert doing the art. What do you guys think? Is that a contender to read? I want to borrow that. But look at that. $3.30, less than the price of a single Spider-Man issue. You can get a whole trade paperback. And then look at some of these other ones. $2.50 for the trades. Oh, look, Marvel Dawn of X sale. Look at all this Dawn of X you can get. Oh my God. 66 items. Dawn of X has been out for like a year. 66. There's 66 items already. What the frick? 6 volumes. 7 volumes. And check this out. This is even better. So you can get the Dawn of X, like volume 1, collects X-Men #1, X-Force #1, Marauders #1, Excalibur #1, Fallen Angels #1, or New Mutants #1. Just the number 1s. And then if you get volume 2, it's just the number 2s, etc. Like, so it's like one thing. Or you can get like the X-Men volume 1, and then it's just X-Men 1 through 6. Yes, they made trade paperbacks in both formats. Marvel. How you have any customers left, I continue to not understand. But here's the way to digest it. If you must buy Dawn of X, look, you can pay less than a single issue comic. You can get the whole trade. If you must. Let's see what else. Oh, Dynamite's having a Black Friday sale. Anyone that likes Dynamite comics. Best of IDW sale. A lot of foreign books. What's this? Marvel's world-shattering events sale. Marvel has 965 items in their world-shattering events. Translation, events that actually didn't matter at all. It's so stupid. Hey, remember that Absolute Carnage? It just ended. Nothing happened. And that was one of the better events in recent years. Now, to be fair, there's probably some older events in here. Look at, there's Eric likes this one, the Kree Skrull War, the original one. That's in here. I've been wanting to read Doom War. Oh, Doom War's only $3.39. Oh, how is Doom War? Has anyone read Doom War? Is it shit, or should I love Doctor Doom. It's Jonathan Mayberry. I don't know who that is. So someone tell me, please. Let's see. Planet Hulk is in there. That was good. Iron Man 2020. That's the original Iron Man 2020, I think. Oh yeah, it is. Look at that. This probably doesn't suck. Rania can tell me. I'm sure she's read it. Oh, Armor Wars 1 and 2. So look, so you can get the older stuff. So this isn't really a joke sale because you're going to get some of the old stuff that actually did matter. I mean, people still talk about Armor Wars today, right? People still talk about Secret Wars today. People talk about the Infinity Gauntlet still today. Those were shattering events. All the stuff that happens in the past 10, 20 years, like those, none of that shit matters. No, remember Venomverse, how it didn't matter? Remember Realm of Wars, how it didn't matter? Oh, look at all these X-Men milestone books. You can get a lot. Look at, you can just get all the Chris Claremont. What else is in here? Look at this. This Absolute Carnage, #1. This was an $8 fucking comic. Now you can get it for 84 cents. I paid $8 for this. Yes, it made me constipated. Age of Apocalypse. I heard that was pretty fun. I never read it. All right, let's get out of here. Where was it? So anyways, if you want some Marvel stuff, the cool thing about Marvel is their books probably aren't as high quality as DC for the most part, but their prices when they go on sale, look at that, $2.50 for a trade. Let's get some good cheap reading. They're like the Burger King of comics. Speaking of cheap reading, though, look at this Valiant sale is going on until December 3rd. This is great. You get all these comics that are from the Dinesh Shamdasani era. I remembered his name. Dinesh Shamdasani. I had to practice it. It was tough. And normally $10 for the trade, and that's the digital price. I think the full price of these are like $15 or maybe $20. Probably 50. I think they're $15. Maybe 20. Anyways, 99 cents for the whole trade. And you can't go wrong during this era. 2012 to 2018, the Dinesh Shamdasani, before he sold it off to the communist China, the CCP company or whatever he sold it to. Yeah, it's now owned by a communist Chinese company. Fantastic. This is great stuff. This is great deals. So anyways, you don't care. I think hopefully you care. Get you some good comics. Tonight we're gonna be reading Thief of Thieves #7. I wasn't planning to read Thief of Thieves #7. I thought it was a 6-issue arc, but man, it left on a cliffhanger. So I got to read #7. I got to do it. Got to, because Eric, he's coming undone. He's like, I must know what happens next. And I said, Eric, I am here for you. Let's see. Eric Breen says, Kree Scroll War, represent. Woo. Let's see. Ronnie says, I still want to fill in the huge gaps in my collection with floppy copies. One day. Iron Man 2020 with Simonson. I'll have it. I have it, and it does not suck at all. Well, that's good. Which Simonson? I'm thinking it's Louise Simonson. I don't think Walt Simonson did Iron Man. I could be wrong. Eric says, Doom War is okay. The Private War of Dr. Doom. Avengers 154 through 156. Supervillain Team Up is better, in my humble opinion. I don't think Eric has a humble opinion. That's just between you and me. Don't tell him I said so. Yeah, but where do I get those comics, Eric? Where would I find Avengers 154 through 156 and Supervillain Team Up? Where? Maybe at a comic book store? Let's see. What did you say? I'm so bad. Avengers 154. Let's check this out. I just like Doctor Doom. So I don't want to waste money on some piece of trash Doctor Doom story. I did pick up the Ed Brubaker Doom because everyone says Ed Brubaker's the bomb and it's Doctor Doom. So it's like, hey, you put two and two together. So, Eric, is this the issue that you're telling me? I'm assuming it is. He says this is better. I don't see any Doom on here, though. Look at this cover. The Jack Kirby cover. Can anyone save my husband before it's too late? Man, this is some old Silver Age stuff. This is what Eric likes. He likes the old Silver Age stuff. Oh, look, it is collected. Oh, it's in an Epic collection, though. Looks like it's colored. That's good. $16.99 for the Epic collection. Yikes. Supervillain Team Up number 9 is in there. Is that the right one? I'm assuming it is. Final Threat. All right. Let's see. Jimmy says, read Alan Moore's Swamp Thing. Do it. Do it now. Do it now. Eric says, strange. I don't recall saying that. Must be slipping my old age. Dragon says, yes, read Zdarsky Spidey. All right. We got one vote for Zdarsky Spidey. Jimmy says, Eric, back me up here. Tell Ash to read more Swamp Thing. Jimmy, you don't need to tell me to read good comics. We tell you to read good comics. And then you get blown away when you finally do. And now you're awoken. It's like you went to the mountaintop and you saw the burning bush. And you're like, oh. Let's see. Eric says, Supervillain Team Up number 9. There's a trade called Private War of Dr. Doom. Is there now? Well, that's be cheaper. Private War. Let's see if it comes up in Comixology. Because, look it here. That's $12.74 though. Oh. All right, but we can add it to the wish list. Look, you can send it as a gift. Hint, 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 hint. I'm just kidding. All right. There we go. The Private War of Dr. Doom. Englehart, Conway, Mantlo, Shooter, Perez, Buscema. Look at that. It's just a freaking all-star list of Hall of Famers right there. All right. All right. Even though it's got Hellcat on there. Even though it says 4 stars. That's probably a good thing. Comixology readers are more inclined to like the new stuff. It's on my wish list now, Eric. Let's see. Eric says Bronze Age. Is this Bronze Age? They keep moving the slots. I thought Bronze Age was 80s and beyond. I don't know if 15-cent cover price is Bronze Age. Isn't that what these were? Well, anyways, I missed out. Ronnie says that is Walt Simonson on that Iron Man 2020. Yes, but did he write it? That's what I was saying. I didn't know if Walt Simonson wrote Iron Man. Him drawing Iron Man, I could see. But he only wrote select books. As far as there's a lot of stuff I'm not aware of. So I was just curious if maybe, well, whatever. I guess you're telling me it's Walt Simonson. I guess that's what I should walk away with. Read a classic Hulk or Fantastic Four comic or Spider-Man, says Melissa. I have done that from time to time. In fact, Melissa, you're one of the few people who I've actually done request like comics specifically for. Let's see. Jimmy says, I literally can't bring myself to read comics 90% of the time anymore unless it will change me in a way. What Jimmy's trying to say is he's starting to realize that the modern comics he thought he loved are shitty, and they don't fulfill him like he thought. And he's starting to wake up and go, this is kind of crap. It's like when you're a little kid and you realize that Kraft macaroni and cheese is not the best thing ever. You're like, this is actually kind of crappy mac and cheese. You have that revelation. I think Jimmy's in that phase right now. Remember when Neo woke up on the Nebuchadnezzar? Like, well, he didn't wake up on the Nebuchadnezzar, but they rescued him, and like he was like, whoa, like he realized like the world was like, that's Jimmy right now. He's like Neo. Ronnie says also Bob Wyacek and William Rosado, reading from my trade paperback of it. Eric says personally I would get the Epic collection, but that is one of my favorite eras of the Avengers. Let's see. Read Craven's Last Hunt. Oh, well, that wouldn't be bad. I don't know if that one's on Comixology, though. So, all right. We are at the end of the chat, which means it is time to get into our first book, Thief of Thieves, number 7. Chug the rest of my beer. Gosh, Sapporo is so good. All right. I don't know if you guys have been following along, but this Thief of Thieves has been a fun book. It's a little bit like Ocean's 11. A little bit like... almost like... It's almost a cross between a Michael Mann movie and Ocean's 11. But you have to know a Michael Mann movies to really get that reference. So, if Brian Hill were here, he would get it. That's all I got to say. And here we go. Oh, whoop. Ronnie caught me in time. Full screen. Take 2. And here we go. There is nothing he can't steal. Nothing he can't have. Except for the life he left behind. Thief of Thieves, number 7. How? How the hell did this happen? You better start talking. Okay, first of all, just calm down. Calm down? Liz, I'm just saying, take a breath, relax. Let's think this through and see if we can come up with a solution in time to do something about this. Do something? Nate, did you not hear him in there? They didn't steal anything. Right, good. First step, identify the problem. This can't be happening. Okay, so what do we know about this guy? What do we know? His name is Arno Montclair. He's some pharmaceuticals magnate from the east side. And he just walks right into my life and fucks everything up? Arno Montclair fucks everything up. Or one big misunderstanding. So you see, Agent Cohen, the whole thing is just one big misunderstanding. Explain it again? I own the factory in question. I'm sorry that it wasn't apparent to you. It's a subsidiary of a subsidiary. I've never even stepped foot in the place. And the men we arrested? They were hired by me to conduct in-the-field testing of the security staffs behind my assets. You understand, a man in my position, I have to go to some extreme lengths to ensure my goods are protected. And in this case? Well, obviously my men failed that test, or all of one of them, that is. Conrad Paulson. That's right. Mr. Paulson is one of my top security consultants. I understand you've heard of him? At any rate, while his methods are somewhat unusual, he can be frighteningly effective. When he became aware of what we believed to be a genuine attempt on a heist on one of my properties. He tried to contact me, but unfortunately I was unreachable at the time. You see, I was vacationing in Bermuda. Bermuda. That's right. I get out of the country so rarely. Fact is, the men I hired, they don't tell you when they carry out their operations. Obviously, had I known, would have made sure I was available to be reached. Obviously. But when Conrad couldn't find me, he did the right thing in alerting the authorities. You're very lucky to have him. Mr. Montclair, are you aware that Mr. Paulson attempted to use the information about this planned heist, or fake heist as you claim, to secure a plea agreement for his son, who is currently facing a number of charges from the Bureau? Well, no. No, I wasn't. But then, that doesn't really concern me or my business now, does it? I want to be clear that Mr. Paulson believed the information about the robbery to be true. I do not believe he ever intended to mislead anyone, or do anything besides make certain that my property was protected. Now, is there anything else I can do for you fine folks? We stole from Arno? Again, relax. You didn't steal anything. He was in on it. In on what? You didn't steal anything. Arno knew you were coming, knew what you were taking, and now he has it back. Everybody walked. Walked? Please, Celia. Me? Snitch? This doesn't make any sense. Why does Redmond give us names that don't go anywhere? To get the deal for his kid. Yeah, but deal's off. He knows we can pull the papers on it. Augustus stays in chains. What the hell? Maybe it's something internal. Maybe with this Arnold guy, clean record and story or not. Maybe. Okay, try it this way. The night of the bust. Let's walk through it. What's to walk through? We fed our sitting ducks, dropped their haul off at the storage, got... Oh, fuck me. The FBI storage facility? You gotta be kidding me. And here I am, such a serious man. Robbing the feds. You have lost your mind. When are you planning to make this little bit of history? How? Nobody gets into a place like that. Nobody except the feds. So your agent friend goes in and parks your not evidence in the evidence? I'm not seeing how this helps you. You know how they sort evidence at the FBI? There's a gun room, a money room, a room for everything else, and a drug vault. And inside the drug vault? By the arresting agent. Okay, so... Wait, hold on, rewind. That doesn't make... Why? Sorry, I feel like I'm missing dialogue. Huh, something's weird. All right, I'm just keep plugging through. By the arresting agent. Okay, so now your stuff sits right next to your kid's stuff. Pharma going in with the heroin in the vault, right? on her shelf or whatever, great. So what then? Rig your stuff up with an explosive or something? Cause a scene? Leave residue? Think, Celia. How about you just skip ahead? Have you ever seen plans for one of these places? They're mazes. And you just need to know where the cheese is. All that to find what you were looking for. Takes patience, you know that. But hey, your kid's drug evidence is still there. It just has a nosy neighbor now. How do you get it out? What got left out the last time? Or, for effect. You got any idea how fucking cold this water is? Hey, Price, let's get you changed. How do I look? Spinning image. Got it. Great. Now hurry up. She's going to need it back in about 20 minutes. 20 minutes for an ID clone with a photo swap? You're lucky to know me, Redmond. Hey, Mabel. Redmond! Jesus Christ, you scared the shit out of me. Let's go for a ride, yeah? Change of clothes under the dummy seat. How do I look? Authentic. Wow. So, you know where the stuff is. You got a half-decent stand-in and a solid key card. All you have to do is walk her in and get the stuff. No. No? The feds don't typically allow their agents to just take heroin in and out of the building whenever they feel like it. In fact, the evidence is sealed up in crates with code combination locks, and only the evidence retrieval officers have the codes. So why even drop her in there? 2 reasons. Okay, 3 more paces. There. Now, do what I showed you with the lock. Good, good. Now let's get those barcodes switched. The barcodes. That's brilliant. So when Arno, or an empowered associate, comes in to pick up the now cleared non-evidence from storage, he gets the crate with his barcode on it. Pretty easy when they let you in. Jesus, it's the cruise line job all over again. I didn't have to get punched in the face this time. Holy shit. You couldn't help yourself, could you? You went in yourself. I'm here to pick up a release. Here we are, sir. Let me just get the code here. That's weird. What's that? No, it's just lock's not working. Well, try it again. I'm in a hurry here. Damn it. I'm sorry. You know what? Don't worry about it. I got some bolt cutters in the car. I can take care of it. But I'm supposed to visually inspect it. Inspect my client's property. You all had no business to... Wait. Sorry. Rewind. Inspect my client's property. You all had no business within the first place. Come on. Paperwork is there, right? The numbers match? Well, yeah, but nothing. Check the box, kid. I got places to be. Worth the trouble, or there are houses and there are homes. He walked? Yes, Agent Cohen, he walked. You see, criminal cases require evidence, and in this instance, we no longer have any. Because they fucking stole it, Bev. Of course they did. Now, if you can just give me some actual evidence of that, I'd be happy to charge them and make a case here. You see how this evidence works? This is bullshit. If we fold up now, they'll... Liz, did I assign you to Augustus Paulson? Sorry? His file. Did I give it to you? Bev, please! No. Chances are up here. As of today, Bev! As of today, I'm pulling you off the field duty. Get your caseload to Nate by 5. They say you can make a lot of that stuff, you know. I can't. Epilogue. Or The Thief and His Loot. Sure, but thing is, the team we had, when they find out what you were up to, they're going to be demanding some compensation. Yes, they will. So that'll mean some other job. Yes, we will. And Arno already knows this? That's why he helped you out, right? Yes, he does. Yes, that's why. Right. Good to have you back, Redmond. Fuck. The end. Nice. That was fun. Now, quick disclaimer. I am predisposed to like heist movies. It's one of my favorite genres. I love heist movies and con artist movies, and sometimes they're a mixture of both. I was defending against Venkman a little while back, or a couple episodes ago. He was making fun of Ocean's 11. I think Ocean's 11 is a fantastic movie. The remake by David Soderbergh. Which, by the way, is a good example of how to do a reboot correctly. The original Frank Sinatra Ocean's 11, not so good. The David Soderbergh Ocean's 11 with George Clooney and Brad Pitt, fucking phenomenal. I love that movie. It's so rewatchable, too. Especially, like, even though you know how they're going to pull off the heist, it's just so slick. You're watching it again and again. The two sequels, Ocean's 12 and Ocean's 13, but man, that first one was phenomenal. This comic gave me a good... I would love to see this done as a movie like that. It was as good as a comic book, but this is one of those cases, I think, where a comic book would be better as a movie. Oftentimes, I don't really care anymore. Like, I've seen comics adapted, like when I talk about superhero comics, I don't feel like I need to see a Spider-Man movie anymore. I feel like I've seen the best it can ever be. Same with Batman, Superman, what have you. I'm just like, I'm over it. Like the live action, I've seen it. My curiosity is satisfied. I think comics are better for that purpose. Not that they're just better overall. But a story like this, I don't think comics are the best avenue to tell the story. I think it almost was like storyboards for a movie. But either way, I liked it quite a bit. So hopefully you guys liked it too. Let's go into the chat. I had no beer left. Boo. Let's see. Jimmy says Swamp Thing is on Unlimited, and read issue 20. It was the end of the last arc of Moore's last issue. It's really just the beginning of Alan's run. Man, Jimmy, I think like Jimmy just discovered Jesus, and now he wants to tell everyone about it. All in good time, Jimmy. Swamp Thing is it's been on my radar to read for quite a long time. I have a lot of books that are on my to read list though. So I will definitely get to it eventually. Breen says, quit picking on my young charge Jimmy. It's not his fault he's youthful. Everyone has a fondness for the comics being published when they get into the hobby. Now he's getting a fondness now for comics twice his age. I think those Swamp Thing comics were printed. Those are like twice as old as Jimmy, I think. Ronnie says, bad layouts on the panels. The person speaking first should be on the left-hand side. You're not entirely wrong, Ronnie, but it's an indie book. So you're not... I think of indie books the way I think of like minor league baseball. Like they're you got prospects on them, but you're not playing in the majors yet. So I'm a little bit more forgiving. And I think for the most part, the storytelling was pretty adequate. I think the artist who did the book, because there was a lot of silent panels, and I think they conveyed the emotion and the story quite well. Like I said, for what it is, I don't really have any complaints. I believe the art could be better, of course, but I mean, that's most of the time. Let's see. Jimmy says, I can call Brian if you want, Ash. Damn, who's name dropping now, son? You got Brian on speed dial? He's not even Brian Hill anymore. He's just Brian. He's just chilling out, him and Jimmy. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Ronnie says, that was a nice end to that part of the storyline. I liked it. I like when you have a cool heist story and you're not sure how it's going to go. And then I like when they tell it this way. Like Ocean's 11 did the same way, where the heist is over and then they explain how it worked. And you're like, oh, it's kind of like revealing a magic trick. And I wasn't sure what was going on here. I knew that he had something up his sleeve, but there was like multiple reveals. I love how you like, oh, he's actually turning on his friends to like save his son. Like, oh, it's shit. Like that in itself was kind of a twist. And then it turns out that you knew that he had pulled something on it, but then you didn't like how he did it. Like he had the owner of the company in on the job, and they like robbed his own place, so that technically they weren't actually breaking the law. They weren't stealing anything. They weren't breaking or entering. You know, like I haven't seen that done before. It's so cool. And I like this Redmond character. I think he's cool. I like that he's flawed, right? He's a thief. I mean, he's not a saint, right? So he shouldn't have perfect morality and all this stuff. Like he should have done fucked up shit in his life, and he did. He fucked up his marriage. He fucked up his kid. You know, I think overall he's somewhat of a decent man, but he's starting to realize all the shit that he's done in his life and this is a truism of when you get older anyway. You just, as you get older, the mistakes of your past become more and more evident. When you're making them, when you're in your 20s and you're being stupid, you don't realize how stupid you're being. And then when you're in your mid 40s and you look back, you go, man, I was a fucking idiot. Let's see. Melissa says Frank Sinatra is a good musician. He was good in Family Guy. Okay. Let's see. Ronnie says art has an Archer feel to it, which works for the story. Yeah, it does remind me of Archer. I don't know if that's good for the story or bad for the story, but if it's working for you, that's what matters for you, like for sure. Nalo's in the house. What's up, Nalo? You just missed the indie book. It's good. I was I'm jazzed. That was a good ending. This is why I'm liking indie books better. I'm liking indie books better than mainstream books because this is where the talent is. If you want to dip into more of Fraction's run of Iron Man, try issues 20 through 25. I think you'll like that story arc, Ash. Okay. Let's see. Melissa says Neon Genesis Evangelion theme is Fly Me to the Moon, a Frank Sinatra song. Okay. That's a series I need to watch someday. I've always been meaning to watch Neon Genesis. Used to be the anime that everyone just talked about, like nonstop. Like, what's the best anime? Neon Genesis, and now no one talks about it. Eric says obligatory comment to keep the chat going. Thanks, Eric. So helpful. Well, Mad Fraction's Iron Man run is not over, but the arc is over, and so we won't be continuing that tonight. I thought there was going to be 6 issues of this and 6 issues of Iron Man. They would go perfect together, but I messed up. So we were left with an odd issue because I don't want to just read the first issue of the next arc of Iron Man and then stop. So I was like, I need a single issue of a comic book. And when you just need a single issue of something to read, you can't go wrong when you go with the national treasure, Gabby Rivera's America. Oh, just look at this cover. Soak it in. Look at this thing of beauty. Even Eric right now is filing comics, and he had to turn his gaze so he could just gaze upon this magnificence. It is a thing of wonder. This is America number 6. I really like, if you look, I can't do the mouse down there because this will happen. But look in the lower right-hand corner with a numbering. It's 006. As if this book had any chance of getting into triple digits. Oh, Marvel. Oh. Oh my goodness. Melissa says, let's see. Marani says, bumping Eric's comment so that Ash sees it. Eric says, I give. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. It doesn't get much better than this. And Jimmy responds, this literally can't be what we're reading. Oh, there's no we about this. I am reading, Jimmy. And you are just soaking in the majesty. Marani says, eagles on the booty. That takes guts to pull that off. Well, guts and being a national treasure helps. So, because Eric, I don't hate him that much, this is going to be for you, buddy. Oh, here we go. Viva America. That's right, it's me, America Chavez, exile of the Utopian Parallel, and student at Sotome are you. And I'm not new. I'm Teen Brigade, Young Avengers, and the ultimate certified. You don't need the CID. Leftists hate ID. I've got my own solo series now. Oiste? America Chavez. Live from the majestic Midas Coliseum in Las Vegas, Nevada. Imagine getting so close to love that your lips get all trembly from its vibrations. And then in the second it takes for your eyes to close, for your soul to flutter open for it, it's gone. Ugh. Gone but it's all you see or remember. Magdalena, are you there? Love distorts reality. It commands chaos. Love is glorious and terrifying. What the? You got to brace yourself. Where the hell am I? And she's up. Whoa, get the offer. Welcome, rascals, scoundrels, and esteemed members of the gritty Vegas underworld, to the Midas Fight Night, organized and championed by me, your favorite game master, Arcade. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. It's just that Arcade, it's like one of the only two supervillains that the SJW people, like, they know. So when they hire these fanfic writers, it's just like a running joke that, like, they all just, for some reason, they all just know Arcade. I've not read these America issues before. This is my first time. I did not know this was going to be Arcade. This is an honest first time reaction. Sorry. Arcade. On my left, hailing all the way from East LA by the way of Jamaica and Mexico, 4-time welterweight women's champion, Magdalena Lesorina Velez. And on my right, oh, this is a treat, Ms. Utopian Parallel, on her first official spring break, the ever moody and always punchy America. Give her some of this brown fist, Chavez. Tonight, for the first time and last time ever, Magdalena Velez and America Chavez will rain down the fury and the fight to the death. Mags, what is this? I'm so sorry, Ame. Let's get ready to rumble! Wham! 2 hours ago, in the California desert. Chavez, I'm coming for you. Ugh. Target unconscious. Retrieving now. Zip. No. Come on. Kate Bishop, a.k.a. Hawkeye, a.k.a. the real Hawkeye, a.k.a. the best Hawkeye ever, a.k.a. Archer, and America's Major Amiga. I may have made up some of that. Chavez! You're supposed to be invincible, okay? Like, that's part of the rebel dream girl magic best friend thing, damn it. Chavez, you better wake up and give him hell. And when I see you, I'm going to let you call me princess and take you home, and you're going to be back on the pull-up bar, and I'll be sitting on the counter, and everything is going to be fine, right? Oh my God. I did not add a word to that. Wait, a portal? America, is that you? You're that warlock luchador America told me about. That would be me, yes, Madramar. Geez, do you always just starportal into cars when people are speeding off to save their very best friend from the man in black and a girl on a motorcycle who literally just stabbed her in the back? 'Cause wow, your timing is wild. I mean you no harm, Kate Bishop. I'm here for America, too. I've lost all sense of her. We must act quickly. Is this your cryptic way of asking for a ride? Something like that. I've had my eye on these Midas monstros for decades. Lay it on me. I already know that they sent teen cyborgs to Sotomayor. They've been setting a trap for America, and Magdalena just sprung it. Magdalena has her own troubles with Midas. She is not the villain she appears. If you say so, let's get our girl. Now, Mags, I can portal us out of here. What's really going on? Looks like our competitors need a little incentive to start swinging. Boys, show 'em something good. Magdalena! Poppy! Don Velez! Muñeca salga de aquí! It's a trap! Now. Lesarina knows the stakes. She wins, she walks away with dear old dad. She loses, well, she won't have to worry about him anymore, will she? That's why they call it a death match, folks. Yay! Yeah, kill her! No! Woohoo! America, I'm sorry. Is that a punch? What the hell is that? The hell is this? I don't know. Mags, what are you doing? We can't fight them. We can fight them together. We don't have to do this. They took Poppy. Okay. They'll kill him. I know I don't stand a chance here, but when this is over, just promise me you'll make sure he's safe. Because if we don't play their game, if you punch out now, I'm dead anyway, and so is Pops, and then they'll go after you again. You can't escape, America. Girl, you've forgotten a few things about me. I don't need to escape. I am a brick house, baby. Now where are they keeping Donna V? Whiff. They've got spaces everywhere, even here in the Coliseum. Are they talking? There's no talking in boxing. I want carnage and mayhem and blood. As do our patrons, Midas always delivers. Mindless ones to the ring at once. I'd take them both out myself if her orders weren't so strict. Watch what you say, Arcade. You are in her debt. Deathmatch. So the NPCs apparently are being called in. Meanwhile, whoosh. Flip. Huh? This is for sabotaging my and America's first road trip ever. And because nobody puts Chavez in a corner. Just drink in this comic. This is a masterpiece. This is, you know why Breen has declared this as the national treasure. Just let it all soak in. You will never see the likes of this again. This is like all the stars came to alignment to perfectly allow this book to exist. Thunk, thunk. Oye. Toma, monstruos. Hi, Mags. Dad. We're here to get you home. Don't freak out. But have you ever traveled via Star Portal? Todo va a pasar bien. That was really bad Spanish. You're telling me you want me to kill you? It's the only way. That's never the only way. Excuse you, creep. Whoosh. It'll take more than that to knock me out, chicos. Hope. Crack. Am I really going to have to destroy all of you at once? Here it comes, the kill blow. Mags, Huh? Whoa. What the? Ten cuidado, chicos. Soy Madramar. Papi. Hija. These people, they save me. Chavez, we gotta roll. These Midas folks are behind the teen cyborgs and the entity and even Magdalena injecting you. I had a feeling it was them. That shot's still messing with me. I see that. Are you okay? I am now. You gotta get Mags and her boss out of here, Kate. That's the plan. What about me, Ame? When she says she's okay, she's okay. Now let's bolt. Enough. America's pet archer might have freed La Serena and her father, but the people paid for a death match, and they're gonna get one. For those of you who've purchased VIP tickets to this match, now's your chance to join the mayhem. Ladies and gentlemen, the Midas Corporation needs America alive, but partially alive still counts. America, I told you I would find you. Lady, I'm glad you're here right now, and apparently Kate's got your back. But I told you to stop interfering. When this is over, you and me are done, understood? It's not that simple, America. It is for me. Fine, but let's finish them first. Whoosh. I don't need you. I don't need anyone. False. We are one. It's our connections that bring me to you. If we have a connection, how come I don't feel you? Because you grew up in the parallel. You haven't been taught how to find us. Find us? Who is us? Boo-hoo, broads. Who cares? Ha 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 ha. Time to bring out the big toys. Maybe you'd like some more of that sleepy syrup, America, eh? Pero este hombre. Ugh, he will not stop. You know, I could show you the power stomp before you're done with me forever. Ready? Nope, I want you gone. Oh, yay. If you weren't my granddaughter, I might have a hard time liking you, America Chavez. Wait, what? Oh, look at that. This is that gorgeous panel. No, you mindless fools. Them. Fight them. Zzz, zzz, pop. Come on. Cue the laugh track. You're my abuela? I have an abuela? I'm your abuela. You have me. I'm your Madramar. Now we power stomp. When we get to the top, push down with all your might. Pretend you're going to break open a portal, but find me instead. But you're right in front of me. Find my energy. Merge with it. Think of all you've learned from Storm and Peggy Carter. How you learned to listen to the multiverse. That's the energy that flows between us. Do you feel it yet? I got you. Oh, look at this touching moment. We must pause here for a moment. Así es, nena. Now full force all the way down. Whoosh. Kabam! Power Stomp is my new favorite move. Wait until you learn the subconscious suplex. Are you really my grandma? Amalia was my granddaughter. This is a lot. The whole grandma thing. I swear, if you're lying, I will come for you. You're bringing up my moms, and all I have are memories of what I've always imagined they were like. And never once did anyone ever say to me, America Chavez, you have a grandma. You have other family. You are not alone. You are not alone, America. You have family. We have each other. Why now? Why this ass-backwards way of contacting me? There's much to explain. Come with me. To the parallel? I can't go back. No, to the ancestral plane. Well, that's sorted. The police will take care of Arcade and his goons, which means we can get to the good stuff. Be honest. You love her, love her? In my own ways, I've always been in love with her. But you love her too, don't you? She's the Thelma to my Louise, minus the driving off the cliff part. Look, I'm a pretty nosy person, but I just like knowing stuff so I can help, which is also annoying, and we don't really know each other, but like, it's okay. You're her people, so we're people. Ask. Midas is this extra sinister cyborg making group of a malevolent sociopaths, right? So what else did they have on you to get you to stab America? Basically, after they took my dad, they said I just had to bring her to them. I didn't know about the rest of it. I didn't know anything, except that I couldn't let them hurt my dad. And America's so strong, I just thought that she'd be able to handle it. Yeah. And then when the fight happened, I figured it was the mess I'd made. You know, like there was no way out. And I knew I couldn't really hurt her even if I wanted to. So you were going to like take the fall, let her kill you, so they let your dad go? It made more sense in my head. Listen, things ever get that bad again? You're America's something. A good love from her past. So if you ever need anything, you know where my detective agency is. I do. And if you need a good workout, you know where to find me. Magdalena? This will take you and your father home. Can you ever forgive me, Ame? I can forgive. And I actually want to hang out with you again. Just no more, I love you, now I'm stabbing you moments, okay? Never. Just love. Gracias, Ame. Te quiero. Beam me sometime. We'll see. Wait, you just said you wanted to hang out and be together again, and then she said, tweet me, and you're like, maybe, I'll think about it. You're my ride or die, Kate Bishop. How about we be each other's ride and survive? Yes, forever that. Wow, Abuela doesn't look too happy over here. She's like, oh my God. I have never hated Kate Bishop more than this moment. That's not true. She actually is serving a comedic purpose, so okay, I've never thought Kate Bishop was more stupid than this moment. Don't get all soft on me, Chavez. I have a grandma, Kate. Yeah, you do, babe. A real one. Let her in, okay? She loves you. And side note, I'm investigating the crap out of her. You better be. What the fuck? this fucking weirdo leftists are weirdos. Weirdos. You just had your lover. You're like, I might think about tweeting you. And now you're off with this other woman. Kate's just apparently becoming a lesbian on the spot. You just met your other family, your only surviving family, the mother of your mothers who you've done nothing but bitch about being gone. Like, just, and now you've got her and you're just like, investigate the shit out of her. Like, this is, what if I could not live the life of these people. Sorry, continuing. You got it. I sent all the Midas info to Prodigy too. So what I'm saying to you, Rebel Girl, is to let yourself do all the family love stuff and let me hold all the suspicions, okay? Okay. I adore you, Kate Bishop. You better. Vroom. She just drives off in her Dr. Seuss mobile. Are you ready to see your home? I am. Under one condition. Say it. When spring break is over, I'm going back to Sotomayor. And you can't just be interrupting my work and my life. We have to navigate this together. Deal? Deal. What the again, with the weirdness. Like, you ready to see your home? Yeah. But when spring break's over, I'm going back to school and you need to fucking chill and stay the fuck away. Like, I'm going back to weirdo school. And are you going to be cool with, like, just basically me treating you like a pet? I take you out of the cage when I'm ready for you. And then I forget about you for months at a time. These fucking weirdos. No wonder Eric likes this book. Just kidding. Mistress. We just weren't ready for the combined powers of the two of them. Obliette Midas, a.k.a. Exterminatrix, Trust Fund Terrorist, and Leather Aficionado. What the fuck? Trust Fund Terrorists and Leather Aficionado. Oh my goodness. You disappoint me. But it's what I get for sending goons to do a goblin's job. But Exterminatrix, please. I'll recalculate. Is this actually Sotomayor, like Supreme Court Justice? Wait, was she a Supreme Court Justice? Yeah. Wasn't she? No, you've done enough. Return to Via Exerta at once. Await my instructions. Yes, mistress. You won't even see me coming, America Chavez. What wildly evil and malevolent plan does Exterminatrix have in store for America and Sotomayor University? Find out next time, mi gente. Oh my goodness. Oh my god, look at this fucking cover. Woo! Oh my goodness. Next. There's nothing better than America Chavez. This is prime. This is prime Marvel. Oh my goodness. Get out. I cannot stare at this. Make you guys stare at it. Oh my goodness. What did you guys think? I don't know where I was. I gotta find out. I always get the most comments when I'm doing America. I keep scrolling, keep going. Okay, there I am. Eric says, in a perfect world, there would be so many issues of America that they would need legacy numbering. Jimmy says, everyone in the chat is about to be dumber for now listening to this. Oh my gosh, Jimmy. This is your era of comics. You should be loving this. I will tell you truthfully that I would rather read this book. I don't want to make fun of Jimmy. Jimmy's a good guy. So, how can you not appreciate this masterpiece? This is a national treasure. Jesus, oh God, I forgot about the voice. Jimmy, you failed to comprehend the brilliance that is America. That will come with age, says Eric. Melissa says, she is not a treasure. Steve Rogers is. No, Melissa. Steve Rogers is a Nazi. America. Her name is America, for God's sake. She's a national treasure. America sounds like Hector from any movie with a Mexican in it ever. Eric says, I should go get my copy and read along. You totally should. It's over now, so. America sounds sort of like that guy from Ant-Man, the guy with the van. Telam says, he looks like Gabby Rivera. Eric says, Michael Arcade Buffer. Who knew that Arcade was the Buffer's third brother, right? It's like the Summers brothers. You thought there were two, but really there was three. It's the same with the Buffers. There's three of them. So Arcade is the third one. Arcade should have to be Arcade should have used to be a villain. Now he's a joke. Well, he's a joke in this book because it's Gabby Rivera. He kind of always was a little bit of a joke, but he was cool in X-Men. I think the best use of Arcade was in that X-Men storyline. I think it was in the early 200s where they did like a Nightcrawler solo story. I think the storyline was just called Murder World, and Nightcrawler's off on his own and he gets kidnapped by Arcade, and then he has that adventure and he meets a girl inside and stuff, and that was actually the storyline that got me to like Nightcrawler. Previous to that, I always thought Nightcrawler was kind of dumb. I don't know why. But when I read that, I was like, oh, dude, he's that whole swashbuckling nature and the way he was so suave with the ladies and stuff, even though he looked like a demon. Right? He was the character in the comics that should be the most self-conscious, right? Because of his looks. But yet he was the most confident with the ladies and like suave. And of course he was a swashbuckler, and it was just Chris Claremont really fleshed out his personality for me, and I just fell in love with the character during that story. So that's just a little tidbit of Ash trivia. Let's see. Dealam says Ash looks like Gabby. Maybe I do. Maybe I am Gabby. You don't know. Eric says Ash ad-libbing Rivera is like ad-libbing Hemingway. It just isn't done. Unless I am Rivera. You don't know. Tilo says, well, she wants Chavez to beat up Mags. Melissa says, this comic is forced lesbian and woke SJW communist Marxist propaganda and a total joke. This is why Japan is beating out Western comics. No. Japan is beating out Western comics because they only ever made 12 issues of this. There's just not enough to go around. Japan is just putting out tons and tons of stuff, and there's just 12 issues of America, and this ended 2 years ago. You can't prop an industry up with just 12 comics. Am I right, Eric, or am I right? Magdalena looks like a smaller version of current She-Hulk. Eric says, "Oh, she's a brick house." Trump built a wall to keep America Chavez's people out of our universe. I think it's funny the utopian parallel is full of Mexicans. It's like, what? Cringy Kate the Karen. Eric says, Jesus H. Christ. Kate has a bigger arms than Clint Barton. She does. Lord says, is Ash done torturing you? How dare you, sir? How dare you suggest that reading a national treasure, America Chavez, is torture to anyone? Melissa says, his America voice is Cheech Marin on crack. It really enhances the experience, I think. Ronnie says, they saved the guy and brought him back to the middle of the mindless ones. Smart plan, doofuses. Melissa says, go, I hate America Chavez. She's so insufferable. That's the point. so dumb and stupid. Melissa, we all used to think like you do, but you're just not seeing the brilliance of America. Once you see it on the surface, it looks like total woke garbage. It looks like it's just terribly written nonsense. But when you read it and meditate on it and let it soak in over years, eventually you just have an epiphany and you wake up and you're just like, wow, this is magnifico. Do they sell laxatives for the eyes? This is Jimmy. Lord says, he is not done. Good thing I'm still pausing this. Why would you pause, America? You're missing out on some of the best comic ever. Wow. This is what's wrong with the comic book industry is people don't want good stuff. We went from 10 viewers at the start of this book to 8. Ash lost 20% of the viewers. I can't help it if people can't appreciate good things. This is bad. Eric says, how did this only last 12 issues? I don't know, Eric. We need more. We really need to get Gabby. We need to start a petition to bring Gabby Rivera back to do another America Chavez book. I want the same team. I want Gabby Rivera. I want this artist. I forget his name. I want bring back the magic. I didn't understand when it was coming out. I was making fun of it. I was like, this is terrible trash. I didn't get it, but now I do. Now I'm sorry, Marvel. I'm sorry I did not understand what you were doing. Dragon Majesty, yes, Sotomayor is on the Supreme Court. I was second guessing myself on that because I never hear about her anymore. I remember when didn't she get appointed by Obama? I want to say she was appointed by Obama. And it was a big deal. Like, oh, it was a woman on the Supreme Court. And of course she's, she got Hispanic heritage or whatever. It was like, oh, it was a Hispanic woman on the Supreme. And of course, when this book came out, everyone was making a big deal. Like, it's America Chavez. So of course she's going to a school named after Sotomayor, but it's like, you don't name schools after people until they're dead. Oh, man. But anyways, the reason I was starting to second guess myself because I was like, man, I've been hearing so much about the Supreme Court lately, because of everything going on. Ruth Bader Ginsburg dying, all this stuff. I never hear about Sotomayor, ever. Like, she's never mentioned. It's weird. Eric says, it's over? Cry. I know, Eric. I feel the same way. I wish we could just read this all the time. Jimmy says, I've never been more happy for a comic to be over. Eric says, you're dead to me, Jimmy. Yeah, Jimmy just doesn't get it. He doesn't like good comics. Doesn't like Frank Miller. Doesn't like America Chavez. What are we going to do with him? I don't know. Little known fact that Steve Rogers is the son of Irish immigrants. Cap was first-generation Irish. His folks actually came from Ireland. They came over at the turn of the last century. I don't think I actually knew that. Eric probably knew that, though, because he was alive and well in the turn of the last century, so I'm sure he probably remembers when that happened. Jimmy says, no, Ash, the best use of arcade was when you had to pay a quarter for it to talk. And all I can think about is why he's not cursing in Irish like my Irish friend Brian. What? Why would Captain America curse in Irish? I just noticed that only me and Jimmy are still here. I'm entitled to my opinion. You're not the only one still here. What are you talking about? I'm here. Eric's here. Melissa's here. Dragon Majesty's here. I think Miranya's still here. I don't know. I haven't seen her post in a while. Says, I'm entitled to my opinion. You are entitled to your opinion. That is 100%. God, no, we don't need any more of this trash. We do need more of this trash. And fortunately for you, Melissa, there are 6 more issues of this treasure, and I have been saving it. A while back, everyone was begging me to do this series, and I said no, because then we'll blow through it, and then it'll be gone. So every once in a while, I'm going to bring it out on a special occasion. We're going to read an issue. So we've now done 6 issues of America. 1 issue is a lot. That was one of the episodes that got canceled. So episode 3 is now lost. You can't go on YouTube's and relive the magic of Ash reading America Chavez number 3. It's 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. That's just how it goes. Sad. We should bow our heads in a moment of silence for that. Dragon Majesty says, yes, she was appointed by Obama when Soter retired. I don't know if that's a typo. Melissa says, this comic is high grade toilet paper. Well, the high grade is the part that you got right. It is high grade for sure. Jimmy says, oh, I see the errors of my ways. I was just racist. Please forgive me, a la Rivera. Accept 20 lashings for my blasphemy. Yes. You are starting to see things a little bit, Jimmy. I appreciate that. Melissa says, Lord, agreed. I hate this comic. It's insufferable trash. And Kay's back. Thank all of this is over. Ronnie is still here. She says, even after the onslaught of America Chavez, I just want to know where all the hate is, because it used to be. And you know what? I think the problem is because I wasn't reading America. I lost all of the good, positive fans that understood its greatness. And now it's just me and Eric are the only ones left. You know, where's Dane, man? I hope Dane is doing okay. Eric, have you heard anything about Dane? I haven't heard from him in a long time. I know he had some health issues going on. I just hope he's okay. He would have appreciated this. He fucking was dying when I would read America Chavez and Ed Brewer. RDV probably would have got a kick out of this one tonight too. It's too bad he's got the COVID. Let's see. Kay says, it was fun laughing at this comic, but now what? What are you trying to say, Kay? What are you trying to say? You're trying to say it was fun laughing at the comic, but now that Ash is reading it, it's painful? Is that what you're trying to say? I think that's what you're trying to say. I'm getting insulted. Melissa says, my son Jake and me would use this comic as toilet paper. I recommend using Cottonelle. It's much better. Comic book toilet paper, it's too slick. Doesn't really grab on to the, it's not good for removing stuff. But it would be good lining like a bird cage. That could be. But you wouldn't know. This is national treasure. You gotta cherish this. You put it away, bags and boards. Break it out once a year and read them with, white gloves. You gotta treasure this book. I'm telling you, you guys, if you're just not appreciating its majesty. Melissa says, bye guys, night to everyone else. She gives a ton of good nights. Good night, Melissa. I'm glad you you tolerated. I hope one day you will see the light and see how great America truly is. We need to really make America great again. And Gabby Rivera is doing her damnedest to make that happen. Am I right, Eric? Am I right? Gabby Rivera is making America great again. Eric says, I read America with my pinky extended ash style. Nice. Me too. We can be pinky brothers. Me and Eric are pinky brothers. Or maybe I can be Pinky and Eric's the brain. There we go, Eric. We could. I just got him with an idea for the show. Pinky and the brain. Right? I don't think we'd be infringing on any trademarks with that, would we? The joke was fun until you took it too far. Too far? How did I take it too far? Did I take it too far, Eric? I didn't feel like I took it too far. Where did I go? Huh. Oh. Jimmy says never say Pinky Brothers again, Ash. Oh, I think someone's just jealous that he's not one of the Pinky Brothers, Eric. Am I right? Am I right? Do you think Jimmy just wants to be a Pinky Brother too? And he's a little bit besmirched. I'm sorry, Jimmy, but you have to learn how to appreciate highbrow entertainment like America Chavez, and then you can become a Pinky Brother. Yes. Jimmy says, you got me. Well, folks, I'm 20 minutes over my normal time that I want to do this. I want to thank you very much for joining me tonight for a stream. It's always fun to be here. I hope you could appreciate the fun of America. I hope you got some entertainment out of it. I honestly did. Dragon Majesty says you could never take America too far. That's right. America is the best. Don't let anyone ever tell you differently. I had a lot of fun. Both of these books. Next, Tuesday, we'll be doing the next episode. I don't think we'll be doing a Thursday episode because it's Thanksgiving. I don't really have any Thanksgiving plans. My life sucks. But I don't think a lot of other people will be wanting to listen to me stream on Thanksgiving. So I'm going to skip it. So we'll be doing Tuesday, and then we'll be coming back the following Sunday. Although I am thinking about cutting off the Sundays because honestly, the Sundays I get like half the number of people. Sunday night seems like a bad night. So I might be going to just 2 nights a week. I haven't got a lot of feedback. Well, I haven't got any feedback on that, to be quite honest, but I've been pondering that. Now, before I go, tomorrow is Monday. And Monday, every other Monday, I do the stream with Skip and Tosh that we're trying to promote. It's the still unnamed indie comic book show where we talk about indie books. Hopefully you can join us. That's a show that I'm very excited about. I love doing. It's a time for me to just geek out and talk just about indie books. It's not because I'm being anti superhero books or mainstream books. It's not about that. It's just that these books don't get enough time to talk about them. So twice a month we do a show where we just geek out on those. We encourage you guys to try these books that we're talking about. Jump in with us. We're doing a current book or several current books actually. And we're also featuring a trade paperback series of an already ended series that is highly acclaimed, highly loved series that you could pick up and just read on your own and enjoy it. But one of the things that I love about comics is that you can read the books and experience the stories over time with fellow fans, have the so-called water cooler talk. It's kind of what this show is all about. So we're reading through East of West by Jonathan Hickman. I know Melissa doesn't like Jonathan Hickman's because of X-Men, but I assure you this is not like X-Men. We're reading one trade paperback every 2 weeks. These are available on Comixology Unlimited. So if you have that service, you can read them. I picked them all up for really cheap during a sale. I really encourage you guys, Get these books with us, read through. You can binge read them if you want, go through the whole series, but I'm taking my time. I'm reading one trade every 2 weeks. It's going to take 5 months to go through it and just get to just live through that, experience it kind of in real time, so to speak, get that feeling of like what comics come out over time. And I'm really enjoying it, talking with fellow fans of the series. The other books we're doing are the current books. One is another Jonathan Hickman book, is Decorum. And another one is a Robert Kirkman book, Firepower. And we're adding other books as the show goes on. We're talking about that. But those 2 books in particular, if you are reading those books, please come watch the show. If you're not reading those books, please try them out. They are both vastly different. Decorum is very much high concept sci-fi, very heavy, plots and stuff. Whereas Firepower is much more of a simple, fun adventure story with family and heart. That book's going to appeal more to people who just like fun Spider-Man stories, or, not simple comics, but it's not trying to wow you with high concept sci-fi ideas. It's just really fun adventures and cool characters. And I'm very much loving the series. So we have a couple different comics that we're into. We're still shaping the show based on your feedback and things. And tomorrow we're going to be talking about a comic that's sadly coming to an end, but I got Skip to check out. It's been one I've been a big proponent of, that my boy Wes over on Thinking Critical got me into. It's a comic called Blade Runner 2019. And we're going to be talking about that book tomorrow and why you should be reading it. However, we're going to be spoiling it too. So if you haven't read it, yikes. It's a great book. And there is a new series that's going to be launching, Blade Runner 2029. So you can be jumping into that. Anyways, that's my long-winded promotion. I would not be a good advertiser because you probably need to be succinct in 30 seconds. Hopefully you guys come over and enjoy that. I think it's better when I'm with a co-host. Lord says Skip went missing. He's in the closet. Anyways, that is 7:30 p.m. Pacific time every other Monday. So hopefully I'll see you there. Eric will hopefully be able to stay awake because it's early for him. And wait. Eric Brain says, we've got issues into the unnamed indie show better than Monday Night Football. What? I don't know. I don't know. I'll call you in a second. Oh, Jimmy's trying to... I love how I'm on a stream and Jimmy and Eric are trying to... You two lovebirds can wait till after the stream before you call each other and whisper sweet nothings into each other's ears. All right. With that, I don't want to keep them apart any longer. It's 7:30 p.m. Oh, okay, you're on the other side of the world. You're not a morning person. Okay, well, I don't know what to tell you, buddy. I apologize. Anyways, you guys take care. And hopefully Eric and Jimmy find true love. Good night, everyone.